so it's Rick Mears in the lead, Tom Sneva in second place, and Al Unser Jr. in third place, and they couldn't be closer without touching.
Oh, this is absolutely magnificent racing. You see the black groove there that's starting to develop. The track, I reckon, is not in tip-top condition. It's a little bit oily. There's a crosswind that's causing the understeer, the front of the car, to wash out a little bit as you come out of turn 2.
A crash. We can't pick it up yet. I can't see who it is. Parts everywhere. Yellow flag out. This could be a very bad. Oh, this is terrible.
Could be the worst crash that we have seen in Indy in years, Jim. I'm afraid the driver
rescue equipment
in
there as usual. I'm afraid.
It looks like
let's not say
Bedard.
it. Let's not say it until we are sure. Could be Pat Bedard, the racing writer turned driver, a man in his 40s. Yes, he's in there.
I'm afraid
he's in there in the front of the car. The engine gone.
Front gone.
However, that part is all in one piece.
Well, yes, it is. And these are survival.
Two of the worst crashes we ever saw were Tom Sneva and Danny Ungaius. Ungaius particularly, we thought might have been dead.
Yeah.
And he's back in the race. Sneva's only back but fighting for the lead.
Really?
Let's see, is his head moving?
I don't know, but it's very encouraging to see that survival capsule.
And there's no fire.
Very much intact. There is no fire. There hasn't been serious fire here for quite a few years.
Yeah. Well, let's see what we have in slow motion. See if we can see what happened. We just came in on the end of that. Still working on the driver. Tentatively identified as Pat Bedard. Well, you see that smoke. That's not it. Here it is over here.
Yeah.
Into the inner wall.
The inner wall
flying.
there. Incredible.
Well, you see it.
Violence. Well, now you know what happens when something goes wrong at 200 miles an hour. You know, sometimes, Jim, you really don't understand the speed.
But the flying parts, again, do dissipate the energy. They, in a sense, give the driver a chance, rather than a solid car that gives all the force to him.
Well, absolutely right. But it's only when you see something like that that the full knowledge of what 200 miles an hour means. Incredible.
Well, this one looks tough. Let's take a break. Yellow flag still out of Indianapolis, and that is the car number 30 of Danny Sullivan. Now, something happened to Danny, presumably as a sort of aftermath of the terrible crash of Pat Bedard, on whom they are still working. Now, look at this.
All right, there's the debris, of course, from the Bedard accident. Now, watch the right of your screen, and you will... Danny Sullivan appears going what it seems to be much too fast. He hits Roberto Guerrero. That's the white car just to the right of Sullivan, who's now getting up into the air. Other cars dodging. It wasn't serious, but then again, it looks like an accident that in some ways really need not have occurred, Jim, had everyone slowed down enough.
Certainly could have been serious. Jackie Stewart's been watching all this. Get his reaction to it.
What you've just seen is not a racing car accident. It's like an aircraft accident. The total destruction of a car at that speed is incredible. Now, as I speak to you now, we have had no reports on Patrick Bedard's condition. But really, in my opinion, it's a synonymous accident with these very high speeds that I spoke of at the opening. In my opinion, they are excessively high. Only last night I spoke to the great Parnelli Jones, and I spoke to A.J. Foyt, and I spoke to the man who's fastest round this speedway, Tom Sneva. They all said that they were all going too fast, because if something did go wrong, it was difficult to see life expectancy being in the correct conditions. It's this type of accident that I think should convince us that we do have to go slower around this racetrack and lots others.
As Jackie said, there's still no report on Pat Bedard. They tell us this is a little earlier shot. Maybe we can tell more, Sam.
All right, you see that it's between turn 3 and 4. It's coming off turn 3. Now, let's watch here.
Into the inner wall. You'll see a flash of fire, I think.
Yeah.
Left side of your screen.
Yeah, that's it, all right. Now, that is not the fuel tank exploding. It could be friction. It could be the oil tank. And as we said earlier, the incredible energy that is absorbed by that tumbling and by the parts coming off, frankly, Jim, is what encourages me to hope for Pat. And I think if people want to see crashes like this at all, it's just because the enormity of a crash like this validates and proves the speed. Here's the crew. Pat
Pit
Bedard.
crew there, yeah. Now Pat on the stretcher being put into the ambulance.